I scored 644 in NEET 2024 and right now I'm a first year Medico at PCSGMCH, West Bengal. In this video, I'm going to guide you how to fill your OMR. Like your exams are real close and I know that you guys are giving one test every day, which is very much indeed mandatory for a situation which you are in right now. But you must also have a tactic not just to solve the MCQs but also to know how you're going to complete your OMRs accurately, because one single mistake in OMR lands you straight in a horror story. This is definitely not a known. I have divided this entire OMR filling thing into 4 steps. So let's start from the number 1 step and the number 1 rule. That is, you have to complete 15 questions, and after your 15 questions are completed from whichever section you choose to begin with, make sure that after ticking those 15 questions in the question paper, you come back and solve the OMR for those 15 questions. Then you get back, solve another 15 questions and fill up the OMR. In this way, you have to proceed filling it up. But however, if you tend to have any doubt for any question, what you do is that you circle it. You mark it and do not write it down in the OMR, because maybe later on while solving the paper, you get to, all of a sudden get the realization that the answer which you marked may not be correct. In that case, if you're really doubtful for a certain question, then just encircle it and do not go for the OMR marking right in the very beginning. Rule number 3. Once you have completed that one section which you started off with, then you go back to those questions which you had doubt about, which you had encircled, think about them, and within 2 minutes try to finish those off and try to mark those, because overthinking about any question in the examination hall would lead you in a position where you would make more and more errors in the subsequent sections which are yet to be attempted, right? So right now you have it in your hand to practice this particular way of OMR filling. So what you can do is that you will definitely face situations like this, okay, and so you will be met with similar resistance, you will be met with similar circumstances in your examination hall as well. So what you can do is that right now is the time, like about a week period is left, and utilize these rules. Practice filling up OMR the exact way you are to fill it up during the examination hall. This is the time you need to implement it while you give your grand tests at home. Practice how to prevent and avoid the situation of overthinking. And yes, when I say 2 minutes, I mean it. That's those questions which are indeed doubtful, finish thinking about those in 2 minutes. If you think like you still cannot come up with anything, then you have to leave. And now I come into the last thing which I need to mention about it, that is rule number 4. After you have completed the entire paper, now you have an idea about how many questions you have attempted and how many questions may go on correctly. So now is the time when you are already done with the entire MCQ ticking, and not just ticking but also filling the OMR sheet. Now you can think about those questions which you could not think about in those 2 minutes. Right now is the time when you give time to those kind of doubtful questions, because now even if you are to take risks, you are very much aware of your situation. If you feel that this risk is a calculated one, that is the number of questions which you have attempted is maybe it's not enough for you to get selection, and maybe you must take one risk, then you have to, right? We cannot avoid this situation. But if you feel like not attempting that question would not do any harm to your selection, then you may not go for it. So that's all about this entire video of OMR filling. Think about it. Giving the NEET examination is not all about your preparation, is not all about your knowledge. It's sometimes also about how you are to take risks. It's also about how you are to utilize your common sense, and your presence of mind must be perfect at that very moment. So thank you, and I'll meet you in a next video guiding you about more tips which you might like to know about NEET.